Cheers, Marshall.
Cheers, Cameron.
Marshall, that's delicious. Tell the people what we're drinking.
Black and White Coffee Roasters, Raleigh, North Carolina. Costa Rica blends of coffees from all over the world.
Nice, dude. Very good. It's the future holiday blend. Which I'm going to guess it's like...
No, it's not the future one. This is a special...
Yeah, it's a future holiday. That's what it said on it.
Future fruitcake.
Oh, fruitcake. Yeah, it's their holiday take on the future. Yeah. I read the label.
Oh, wow. There's so much we just dropped that people are... Now they're thinking we're talking about time travel.
We are.
With this coffee.
This coffee.
Drink this coffee and you will hop into the future.
Does it take you back, though, or does it bring you forward? That's what
Forward, for sure.
Okay. Back to the past, then.
Guys, this coffee is...
It's
with
fire.
5 different coffees, and all of them were fermented with different types of things.
Dude, he has the cinnamon in there.
Yes, it's in there.
I taste it.
One of the coffees was literally fermented at the farm with cinnamon.
Yeah.
And then other ones, just other fruits. Literally, one of them is red fruits. That's what they said. I'm like, all of the red fruits? Or that point being, this coffee is fruity.
Fuego. It's fuego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Welcome to our cast. It's been a minute.
It's been a month.
It's been a whole month, but there's been travel. There's been a lot of stuff going on and more to come.
More travel to come?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just a busy season.
Yeah.
I feel like trying to get...
We will see you guys in August of January.
In August of January.
I meant to say 2025. That joke
Dang,
just
dude.
fell
Why
on its face, and
August?
now I'm the joke.
Now you are. Well, you've always been.
I've always been the joke.
Yeah. Me too, though. Me too. All right, dude. What are we talking about today? Are we going to talk about baptism,
dude,
Nephilim?
No.
Mostly Nephilim?
No. We are talking about the Antioch Proclamation. No, not yet.
Are we gonna?
I think we should address it sometime.
Yeah. Okay. Without telling a whole novel of a story.
Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna do that.
We'll figure it out.
We will figure it out.
Yeah. We're talking about untouchable sins.
We're going
again.
This is part 3.
Part 3.
We were in the middle. Cameron, I think we ended and you were in the middle of a sentence, and then I cut you off because it was go time.
Dude, I respect that, though, because if people cut me off more, I feel like the world would be a better place. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of unnecessary things.
With your run-on sentences and when you're on the freeway.
Are they all run-on?
Oh, no.
Do I not use commas?
No. I can see the commas when you're talking.
Cool. I try to, draw them, spell them out for you. Put them in the air. Yeah, you see comma there. Cool. Yeah. Quotes. All right. Well, okay, so we left off last time on gender-specific sins. Mm-hmm. So if you haven't listened to the last 2, I'd recommend that. We're essentially just addressing sins that are either shied away from in Christian communities or from the pulpit, with no church in mind, but just kind of a general experience. I think a lot of churches face is there's certain topics that are really sensitive or taboo, and you either don't talk about them, or when you talk about them, you have to water it down and wash it down with something else to fluff it. You have to sandwich it. You have to, the sandwich method?
No.
When you're delivering bad news, you have 2 slices of bread, and then you have something in there like an Oreo, right? You have two cookies. You have the cream and then the cookie.
And then the bread.
You put bread on your Oreos?
I like an Oreo sandwich with bread.
With lettuce.
And tomatoes.
You eat those too? Nice, dude. Yeah, so it's like, you give a compliment, then you give the criticism, and then you end it with another compliment. It's a way to fluff the bad news, to sweeten the blow, soften the blow, but in this case, sweeten the blow. Anyway, so I think a lot of churches are really uncomfortable talking about certain topics. And so they'll actually kind of pull back from what they want to say about it and hit harder on the softeners. Do you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so I think our last one, we kind of dealt with that primarily, and this is a continuation. We were in gender-specific sins, and we got to the men.
Yep.
And we ended it on the men.
Yep. And specifically, we're talking about the last point I can recall was us addressing how men are to not provoke their children to wrath.
Yes. Yeah, to lead them in fatherly duty.
Yep.
That's huge. And so with that, continuing, now we're on to the women, which is the best part, according to Marshall, right? So modesty and worldliness is also like, we don't, it's funny because if you hop on here, it sounds like we just want to, throw some shade on the girls.
Oh, like if this is your first
just
episode
like,
of this
I think
series?
if you came on the last one first also.
Okay.
But Marshall, remind the people, how much do we hit hard on the men for every
you
other
and
episode?
me or everyone?
You and me.
I feel like every episode.
Yeah, I think that we primarily
Probably.
deal with the men, especially if we believe the men hold responsibility. They're called to be leaders, heads of households, all that. Like we lean harder on the men intentionally.
Yeah.
With that being said, it doesn't mean you can't talk about women.
Right.
Just as women can talk about men, and that's fine, and no one cares.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so immodesty and worldliness, these are some sins. I'll read the first one, you do the next. We'll interchange.
Go for it.
Okay. So this one I think is very clear, easy, but it's not addressed from the pulpit as much as you would like. I think, we've all been at churches where women are dressed promiscuously, revealing, or like, I know some people are like really against yoga pants.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Especially in the church congregation because they're skin tight, revealing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think modesty is something that is kind of lost in our culture. I actually I don't want to use any real examples. I want to refrain from that.
Sure.
But I know women who dress modestly, and it confuses other women that she knows. Or she and more than just one girl knows. Like I know women who dress modestly, and I think it convicts naturally the women around in her life, their life.
Whoa, wait. The woman wearing yoga pants
No.
being convicted by the one wearing the dress?
Yes. Yeah, I think so. And I think that's, it's like, when you go to a construction site, okay?
Okay.
What's the first thing you're going to experience if you go do a construction job?
Loud noise.
Well, what else? Amongst the workers.
You guys are talking trash.
Trash,
Potty
dude.
talk.
Yeah. Locker room talk.
Yeah.
You get like really vile and vulgar.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah.
So if you were at a job site and you didn't partake, what would it naturally do to the other guys?
It'd probably frustrate them.
Frustrate them, confuse them. There's going to be a natural, like, are you one of us? Are you not? You know?
You're probably not, you're going to be eating out of your lunch pail by yourself.
And if you have a Christian witness, it's going to make him probably think you're pious. You're self-righteous, right? Now you're a jerk. I think the same thing happens with women and modesty. I think I don't know, I'm not a woman, but I think there is a lot of pressure on women when they dress modesty. I think there's a lot. So I think in churches, when there's competition. I feel competition as a man. Who looks more like a cowboy, dude? That's what I want to know.
Definitely me. As
For
of
sure.
now.
For sure.
Not today.
Not today.
Today you do today.
Not today.
It's only because you got that Coulter Wall hat.
It's only the hat. I didn't bring my Hans Zimmer hat, But yeah, so let me read a couple scriptures. 1 Timothy 2, 9 through 10. In like manner also that the women adorn themselves in modest apparel with propriety and moderation, not with braided hair or gold or pearls or costly clothing, but which is proper for women professing godliness with good works. So this, and Marshall, does this mean you can't wear gold?
No.
Or you can't braid your hair?
No.
No, this is...
Proverbs 31 actually talks about the virtuous woman adorning herself with purple linen and... I can't remember the rest. I just read it earlier today. But...
you read it earlier today?
Yeah,
it's
dude.
so early.
I know, dude. We met up at... What time did we meet up?
We met at 5.
We met at 5. Yeah, I read it at like 4:45 this morning.
Just got up at 2. You're like, I'm going to read Proverbs 31.
Yeah. No. This isn't saying women can't be beautiful.
Yeah. Yes. But the primary goal is to apply beauty inwardly. And inwardly always bleeds outwardly. Beauty's fine. But the focus of adorning yourself inwardly. And this is 1 Peter 3:3-4 hits on this one. Do not let your adornment be merely outward, arranging the hair, wearing gold, or putting on fine apparel. Rather, let it be the hidden person of the heart with the incorruptible beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is very precious in the sight of God. That passage.
Amen.
My goodness.
Amen, dude.
My goodness, man. It's so good. So do not let it be merely outward, but also the beauty that's inwardly is incorruptible is what it says. I love that. Incorruptible beauty. Your gold will rot away. Your clothes, moths will eat them. But the beauty that's inwardly is incorruptible, undefiled. So yeah, modesty. I think, that's for younger Christians, this is a big battle. I think as you get older, you don't want to be noticed as much, hopefully.
I don't know. I can't speak on behalf of a woman on that.
No, just people, men too, because I was thinking about the whole cowboy comment. I fall into this category as well, unfortunately, of caring about my appearance a lot, But we're focusing on the women here for sure. But I think as we age, well, dude, okay, let me ask you a question, Marshall.
Yeah.
Let's just get real here.
Okay.
Do you like makeup?
It's funny because I'm about to throw my wife under the bus. There's sometimes we'll go out to church or out, and it's like we're pulling up in the parking lot. She's just about finished with her makeup, and I give her a hard time, and I'm like honestly, you don't need it. She's like, how do I look? I'm like, you look beautiful.
Yeah.
And you look beautiful before you did that too. In my mind, if I'm being honest, my wife, I think, is truly beautiful. And so for me, I really don't think she needs makeup.
Right.
When she wears makeup, I notice, and it's like if we're going out on an anniversary dinner, and she puts on makeup, she's not like, here's the question, how much?
Yeah.
Right. But my wife doesn't use a lot, but just a little bit. And I do like it, like when she adorns herself appropriately. I do enjoy it. I do like it. I think she looks beautiful. But truthfully, I'm mesmerized by her without makeup still. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's awesome.
If she I still want her to put herself together.
Yeah, but
she doesn't need makeup.
Like a lot of makeup.
No, I really don't.
Let me ask you a question. Do you know any guy who likes a lot of makeup?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know a single one.
You know what's funny is
A single one.
Selena was saying, she's like, every guy says that. You don't need
If
women.
every
don't
guy
need,
said it.
She's like, guys always say that, but they don't mean it.
No, we mean it.
I know.
We for sure mean it.
What do you think?
Oh, I don't like makeup. Yeah. No, I like, if anything, a little bit. Just a little highlighting makeup, but not covering.
No.
I think women use it to cover. Because
Right.
they don't they don't believe they're beautiful, so they try to create beauty instead of accentuate beauty.
Yes,
and guys don't like that.
I know. Well,
it's
at
so
least
funny.
Probably in general,
90%. I'm gonna guess. Just here's the thing. If here's the thing. Okay, women. A lot of women are like, men can't speak on behalf of women. Okay, well, men are here speaking on behalf of men, then let the men do that at least, okay?
Yeah.
So out of all the guys that I've known my entire life, very few I've ever met. If I can't even think of any, but I'm sure there's some, just to be generous. Let's say 10%. 10% actually like a lot of makeup, the rest
You've
don't.
asked every guy this question.
No, but just hearing guys talk and notice and make comments and stuff.
You've never
It's like
heard...
the same reason I don't ask every guy, do you like yoga pants on women? I don't have to ask them.
Sure.
I know they do.
Sure.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure. But here's the thing. You've heard guys say, I like, oh, like that woman is hot because of this or that. You never, ever, ever, ever.
Because of the makeup?
Because of the makeup.
Because of the makeup.
Never once.
That's true.
My
That's
whole
very
life.
true.
You've
Yeah.
never heard a man.
Yeah.
I can guarantee no man has ever heard or said,
Yeah.
that girl's hot because of her makeup.
Yeah, it's
or
true.
that woman
It's
is
true.
beautiful because of her makeup.
And a lot of guys, what I have heard though is guys shocked when the makeup comes off and they look completely different, and they're
Yeah.
like they're not as pretty now. I've
really?
heard that, but because they made themselves appear so differently
Yeah.
that they were truly covering what was there. Like
Right.
these are like professional makeup artists I'm referring to, not like the normal girl who cakes her face.
Sure.
But now I just think of someone just throwing cake on their face and that's their makeup. But my point is that if they're not doing it for the men, who do they do it for?
Themselves.
The women.
Yeah.
That's true. Now think about guys. Now what? Okay, here. This is. We're getting real right
Yeah,
now.
dude.
Okay,
We're
let's
being
just
real.
be honest.
Yeah, I'll be honest with
What's the preferred male body type?
Tall. Check for you.
Yeah. Being an Nephilim helps.
A beard.
Well, no, women. Most women.
No,
don't
you said for men.
No, I'm saying.
Oh, for women, for men.
Yeah.
I thought you
But
said
tall
men
is
like
right.
amongst men. Like what
Yeah.
do men want to be?
So consensus wise, obviously there's
Okay.
exceptions.
Okay. So for a woman wanting a man, she wants a tall, handsome man. Most likely stubble.
Yeah, stubble.
Not a
Heavy
full
scruff
beard.
to stubble.
Most likely.
You can grow a beard, but you got stubble.
Right.
That's what they want. Yeah.
And then fit.
Fit, but what kind?
Not like crazy muscular, but
If you
muscular.
could name an actor in a movie, go.
Ryan Gosling.
Oh yes, I was going to say Brad Pitt. That's almost the same.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Ryan
that.
Gosling's better, though.
It's sure. Well, then Brad Pitt.
Yes, well, you can just.
I
leave
know
it at
Ryan
that.
Gosling's your
You can just
favorite.
leave it
Okay.
at that.
So yeah, that's the point though, is that the preferred body type is an athletic cut, like low body fat with some muscle, but they're not like a muscle head. They're not
No,
like
it's
a
not Triple
gym
H.
bro. It's not Triple H or Shrek. They don't want Shrek.
No.
We want Shrek. You and I want Shrek's body type, you know? Like, dude, if you were built like Shrek right now, you know you'd love that dude. Whose respect would you have? You walk into a room.
Only yours.
No, that's not true. If you go into church, dude, and you've been working out and you are built like Shrek, dude,
He's got a gut, bro.
yeah, but
No. He's got a gut.
you could clean that up for sure. But the rest, you know what I mean? My point is that like when you go to the gym, I think a lot of we know that girls don't prefer the big muscle dudes. We know that.
Generally.
Some do, of course. There's always exceptions. Rule out exceptions. We're just talking generally. We know that, but we still get jacked.
Right.
And we want to be noticed,
Right.
but not by women. I believe it's by other men.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think it's both, but I do think there's like what it is outdoing the other guy.
Yeah, of course. It's
And
competitive.
for the women.
It's competitive.
Outdoing the other women.
Exactly. That's my point, is that I think the makeup and gains are very similar in how they operate and function between men and women.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of women really adorn themselves not for their husbands, but for the other women. And that level, I think, is where it needs to be converted to focus inwardly instead of externally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just thought that was interesting.
That is an interesting thought.
Interesting. All right, dude.
It's a great thought.
You ready to hit the next one? You love doing this one. This is your favorite.
Gossip and slander.
Slander, as Mike Tyson would say.
Dude, can we talk about that fight for 5 seconds?
Yes, plug it in. Go.
It was a hoax.
It was,
It
for
was
sure.
totally staged, and
Yeah.
that was
ridiculous.
sad.
That was sad.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Elder abuse.
Here's
just
the
like
thing.
Joe Biden.
If anybody right now who watched the Mike Tyson fight and isn't convinced of that, go watch his training videos and then go back and watch him fight in the ring. You have two options. Either A, they threw that fight, or B, he was so injured he didn't tell anybody. It was a very serious injury and he wanted to fight anyways and suck it up. And he was struggling the whole time. That's it. It's your two options. I don't think it was the second one. I know he had
I
an
don't
injury.
think it
He
was
said it
either.
in his post-fight interview. You know, like, he
Yeah,
hurt his
don't-
knee. But it's Mike Tyson. Dude, he bit a dude's ear off mid-fight. And you know the whole time he's biting his glove, he was just thinking about Jake Paul's ear. You know the thing? He's
When
like,
he was biting his glove.
what that taste like? You know what I'm saying? So I know Yeah, I think it was for the Benjamins
Yeah.
out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in there. Anyway,
Gossip and slander.
you love that.
I hated that fight. I was so mad. Anyways, gossip and slander. This is one that I also think is everyone knows.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that this is something that everyone struggles with. Dude, I just did it. I just put the bread. I softened the blow.
You softened the blow.
I just softened the blow.
And it's women we're talking about, gender specific.
It is. Forget the sandwich, okay? Everyone knows. I'm going to be direct here.
Okay.
And this is out of love. I'm still softening the blow.
Yeah.
But hear me out. We all know that this sin is predominantly present amongst women.
Yes. Directed towards
And I'm
women.
not going to sandwich it.
There you
I'm
go.
going to leave it at that.
Yeah. And so much so, Marshall, that for a man to partake in it is not just gossip, it's also a feminization. So like the gossip is actually a sin I struggle with.
Oh, sure.
And I hate it. And when I do, nothing makes me feel more like Shania Twain. Man, I feel like a woman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I'm more of a Sheryl Crow guy now. So nothing makes me feel more feminine than gossip. It truly, I hate it.
Yeah, dude.
No, wait, what?
No.
Nothing else I do besides wear high heels makes me. Just kidding. But anyway, yeah. So you continue. I just wanted to plug that.
I totally agree. I think when I catch, because that was gonna be the sandwich, is like we all do it.
Yeah.
But when I do it, there is this conviction immediately. I would say I catch myself usually while I'm doing it, and I'm like, oh, like this isn't. There's no place for this.
Yeah.
This is cowardly. Is what it is. I'm talking about this person. Let's do the right thing and just go directly to that person.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that, you're a coward.
Yeah. Well, okay. That's why it's emasculating for men.
Exactly.
It's cowardice.
Yeah.
And so, you can just plug in another one after gossip and slander is a feminization of men. We could have added that to the last list.
Yeah.
That should actually have been there because that's one that is really either hit on way too hard in certain like independent fundamentalist Baptist churches, or it's really not talked about much in most churches. There are some churches that talk about masculinity and have created a culture of masculinity. But for most people, I think when you start talking about it, it's all an overcorrection, and then you have to correct your overcorrection. And sometimes you overcorrect your overcorrection.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you go from one pedal and just ride back to the other one. But a feminization of men is definitely one that we could have added to the men list in gossip and slander. When we repent of it, when I repent of gossip, I need to repent of gossiping, but also being effeminate.
Yeah.
Like the law that men are commanded not to wear women's clothes. Like there isn't a feminization that's not permitted amongst men.
There's order in nature.
There's order in nature, in God's glory, and in the Imago Dei, and we need to glorify God in that, not glorify ourselves in that. And I think it's rebellious. It's rebellious to glorify ourselves and worship the creature rather than the Creator. So yeah, when we're repenting, you and I repenting of gossip, it needs to be also repenting of feminization. Anyway. I stole it again.
No, you're good. The 1 Timothy 5:13 says, besides that, they learn to be idlers, going about from house to house, and not only idlers, but also gossips and busybodies, saying what they should not.
Yeah. So think about this, Marshall. When a guy stops working, what happens?
He gets lazy and I would say lustful.
Yes.
He gets
the two primary ones, lazy and lustful.
Yeah.
And then he gets bitter, and then he gets all the other things too, right? And then he gets dude, it ends with envy. And then he gets murderous,
covetous.
dude. You know what I'm saying?
Murderous.
I'll just say it can lead there, right? You start to hate your brother.
Yeah.
Hate is murder in your heart. There's nothing stopping you from doing it, right? But when men stop working with their hands, when they stop working away, plotting, if you will, you know what I mean? Anyway, they get lazy and lustful. When women stop, gossip, busybodies. That's what he's saying here.
Yep. Yeah, it's good to you be diligent with your hands.
Yeah.
In a way that's honoring the Lord.
Well, and women are called to like nurture their children, to teach the younger women.
Yep. We're going to get there.
Oh, we'll get there. Sorry.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Titus 2:4 also says, the older women likewise, that they be reverent in behavior, not slanderers, not giving too much wine, teachers of good things, that they admonish the young women to love their husbands and to love their children.
Yeah. So they are called to teach specifically
Younger women.
the younger women. Yeah. So, but that is something that I don't think a lot of women do.
A lot of older women, you mean?
Well,
Or-
yeah, and not because I don't think the older women want to teach. I actually think a lot of younger women don't feel comfortable like asking for discipleship from the older women. They're not looking for mentors. I don't know. Maybe they are, but
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know. I know like amongst guys, there's a strong like, brother, if you're not being discipled, you're stupid kind of
Sure.
thing. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like we really hold each other accountable. I don't know. I'm not there when, the girls get together. I don't know what they talk about, but I feel like there's a lot of similar age discipleship, but not a lot of like, hey, I need to find an older woman to disciple me, help me
Yeah.
through this and help me to love my husband better and to love my children better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it'd be cool to see
Yeah.
that more of that.
Yeah. I also think too, like, and I think it would be cool to see older, like you said, like the younger women may not, and I do actually mean, I am sandwiching this, but I'm fine with that.
Sandwich away, brother.
I think it would be beneficial for older men and older women to keep an eye on those in their congregation and like maybe take the initiative to, hey, let's meet up for coffee.
Yeah.
I want to get to know you.
Yeah.
Or like, let me hear your testimony. You know what I mean? Like kind of reaching out to the young, like this reaching out from the older, because it's honestly, I feel like there is a disconnect between ages in congregations.
Yeah, and social media is a huge part of that too.
Yeah.
Like they'd rather watch, Jackie Hill Perry or another, young mom
Yeah.
who's very successful in
Sure.
a certain way, whether that's homesteading or, speaking, writing, business, whatever, we favor the younger moms. I think the women do. Sorry, they.
The women.
Yeah. Kick my heels off, so I just have so many skits come to mind, Marshall, that I gotta bridle those.
Yeah.
Put them in the vault. Yeah. Also, starting this podcast, it was a rough start in my opinion, but people don't understand how hard we were laughing.
Yeah.
Right before we hit play.
Dude, look at that self-control.
I'm still recovering.
Fruit of the spirit, dude.
What are you talking about? I feel like I'm not controlled. You know what
No,
I
we
mean?
can look at us. We're
Like you just came back?
yeah, dude.
Yeah, but it
After
took a minute
like
to
an hour.
recover. Yeah, that was, I don't know the last time I laughed that hard.
That was funny.
That was great. I cried this morning.
It was 5 a.m. too.
I cried at 5. Man, one of those times. You read Proverbs 31, I cried. But I know most of the young women I know are really watching those social media accounts to get the wisdom from women. And listen, I don't want to put any, swaying away from that on this, like, cause that's so important. How many guys do I listen to on podcasts and YouTube and all that? Because it's free wisdom.
It's great to have peers.
It's so great.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
people who are in a similar season as you, currently, right? Who's going through it. Hey, I had this experience with, disciplining one of my children the other day. Have you experienced this? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just did that last night,
Yeah.
like whatever. It's good to have that camaraderie.
Yes.
But how much greater
Yeah.
to be able to say, hey, I just disciplined my kid the other day and this happened or what?
Yeah.
What did you do when you disciplined your kids?
How did you get through
now,
it?
Now they're grown
Yes.
and they're walking faithfully with the Lord.
Yeah.
What did you do?
There's camaraderie.
Going
and there's
to someone who's
mentorship.
older, right?
Yeah. If you're in an army, in a legion, and you're wading through the muck, okay, you want the guy next to you. You want to look at him, and you want him to look at you to know, I hate this. This sucks.
Right.
There's crocodiles in here. We could die in a second. We're doing this for 3 miles, up to waist deep in swamps. Oh, that's like my nightmare.
See, that was very vivid.
Oh my goodness, I'm shivering in my boots. My hooves are shaking, right? So, like, you want that camaraderie. However, if you don't have the leader, the one to lead you through it,
Who's been through it?
there is no hope, and the camaraderie changes. It now becomes, well, it's not just fearful, but the way you joke about it, the way your attitude about it changes.
Yeah.
Because it's not a overcoming this challenge kind of camaraderie, you know what I mean, or kind of attitude. It's if I don't laugh, I'll cry. So let's just joke about it, which is unfortunately my motto about a lot of things, you know. But yeah, so you need the mentorship too. Don't substitute the peer camaraderie with the general who needs to lead you through.
Yeah.
You know, like I wanted to know, listening to, like, most of the guys we listen to are older.
It's true.
Much older. Some of them
true.
much older. I don't listen to a lot of young guys.
That's true.
I don't like to.
I know, dude.
Isn't
they
that
bug
interesting?
Me.
It's not that they.
If you're listening to us, you should stop, turn us off, and you should listen to some older guys.
Maybe we should wait a couple more years for our next episode.
When we have gray hair.
I have white. I have some white. You know that?
All right. So, hey, that's good then.
I have some white.
You are no longer my peer.
No.
You are my elder.
I feel like I went younger when I got it internally. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I don't like listening to a lot of younger guys, and it's not because I don't think they're excellent preachers. They're not, biblically literate. They're really very brilliant men, and I appreciate them, and they're very useful to the body, much more than I see. And one day I will hopefully get to see in a much greater measure. But it's the old dogs, that get us to stop, being dumb, being dinguses. You know, like I want Doug Wilson to tell me to stop being a dingus. James White to tell me, like, yeah, you're wrong here. All right, cool. Respecting our elders.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just don't see that kind of. We're talking about men again. What are we doing, dude? It's about the ladies. All right, let's hear your favorite verse. Wow. I didn't read the verse. I just saw Proverbs 31. And I was like, oh, you love this.
Proverbs 31:26. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and on her tongue is the law of kindness. You're busting up.
Sorry.
I think women who are gossiping are leaving no room for wisdom.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And whenever it reflects on your character when you are gossiping.
Yeah.
People then internally know, like, okay, this is a safe person to vent to.
Yeah.
About someone else. I can, maybe confidentially come to this person and we can hash out our feelings about this other person.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're a woman of wisdom and that is what's coming primarily from your speech and your conversations, those other women aren't going to feel comfortable venting to you about other women.
And it's not exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you have to create that culture.
Right.
You have to start, like, anytime you're creating culture, there's always a lot of uncomfortable moments in the beginning when you're establishing it.
Yeah.
Once it's established, it becomes self-sustaining for the most part. Mm-hmm. But you need to have those initial hard moments of going, like, hey, you were telling me about, is it Nancy Wilson who?
Yes.
What does she do? What does she do?
Oh, dude, there was an example I heard where at Christ Church in Moscow there was a woman who went up to the pastor's wife and started talking to her about something amongst the some sort of gossip and slander, and the pastor's wife, her name's Nancy, she grabbed her hand and looked her in the eyes and said, let's go talk to her right now. Let's do it, with a smile on her face. And the woman was like, kind of nervous, like, uh-oh, and literally dragged her to the other women and said, hey, she was saying this about you.
Let's deal with it.
But let's deal with it. Not in like
What's going on?
Yeah, let's talk about this. Is this true? And really just put light on him, dude.
And see, that sounds harsh. It sounds harsh.
It is.
But it's because we don't see the true weight of gossip.
Yes. And dude, I think this is something too, is like, I think it's easy for women to, dude, it's the sandwich. I guess, here's the thing. I'm a guy, so it's easier for me to
eat sandwiches?
Eat sandwiches and relate and talk in terms that are
really
relatable
bad.
to men. I think most of our listeners are men.
Yeah.
But think of it this way too. It's like, what's something common? You get a group of dudes, young dudes, okay, specifically. Get a group of younger guys, similar age. What happens? Christian dudes. You think, how often does coarse jesting come up?
Oh, immediately.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Right?
Someone shows their butt within 10 minutes. Every time.
That is ridiculous.
Every time. Even in public. Just kidding.
But I think like an equivalence would be something such as coarse jesting.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, we'll get there.
Right. But I think I know I've been in circles where it's like, yeah, like coarse jesting amongst brothers and Christians in the faith, it's like it's tolerable. It's a tolerable sin. And then, dude, you go meet up with a group the same group of guys, but pastor shows up. Or just an older believer.
Dude, it's so funny you said that because I was just about to say, but what happens when you're around a guy who's highly esteemed?
Yes. With someone you respect and someone who
Yeah.
is wiser and older in the faith.
You don't.
Dude, no one dares.
No one, and if you do have a joke, you're way more tasteful about it.
You think about it.
You think about
it before you say it.
And I think it really comes down to self-control.
Yeah.
Because it's not about like it's hard. It's hard finding the place for comedy because you know how much we're comedians, man.
Yeah.
Like we've discussed going into full comedy.
For real.
For real.
And
Like,
people are like, you guys should not do that.
I know.
You guys are not funny.
But once you open that door, you can never close it. You know, it can never be serious. But I don't despise comedy, and I don't think God does either. You know, but it's just like cursing. Like I actually believe there's a place for cursing. You know, and in Scripture there are times where curse words are used or very explicit language is used, but it's never without self-control, and it's never edifying, or it's always edifying. It's never to no avail.
Sure.
So there's a meaning behind it. There's a purpose. It's not just unfiltered trash coming out of someone's mouth. It's thoughtful, tasteful, deliberate communication. Yeah. And I think jokes can be that way too. Comedy can be that way. I think part of we're getting ahead of ourselves. I'm gonna pull back because we're gonna get to coarse jesting, and I'm gonna start crying and all that. Anyway, with your point with that, Proverbs 31 was instead of giving your time as a woman over to gossip, exchange that with wisdom.
Yeah.
And allow that to be the thing that comes forth from your mouth. It's like turning on a hose. You want it to be water coming out. You don't want it to be sewer water coming out.
Right.
You know?
I think that comes from being in the Word and spending time with older, wiser women.
Yeah. Yeah. And desiring that women, seeking it, that wisdom, and seeking it out for sure. All right, next one. Usurping authority over men. Yeah, this is one that I think is, man, it's not that it's not talked about, because I think this one is talked about. I think this is another sandwich topic where there's like they'll hint at it. Strong hints from pastors about women not usurping authority over men, primarily when it comes to church order.
Okay.
But everything else, and then it's sandwiched and it kind of ends there. Like there's comments about the men being the head, and the spiritual leader of the home, but it's left at just spiritual leader. Like you're to theologically lead your family. You're to be the spiritual source of life and peace and joy and all that in your home. But it's never taken farther. Like, what does that look like?
Right.
Like when you when you discipline your kids, is that a spiritual thing? Is that a theological principle?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all theological. It's all spiritual.
Everything is.
So I think, but when they say it, I think a lot of times what they mean is like, hey, you need to provide the direction.
You need to wash your wife with the word.
But you're not to lead the ship. You're not to actually get things going.
Provide the ship.
Because once you do, and we hear about it, or your wife complains or whatever, we're going to see you as a tyrant. Mm-hmm. And you look like a jerk now. Don't be a jerk. Like the strong message is don't be a jerk.
Right. It's totally acceptable for the husband and the father to discipline the children.
Yeah.
People don't really, some people question that. But in general, amongst the church, you're not going to question if you see a family at church and the kid's acting up, you're not going to speculate when the husband grabs the child and removes the child from the sanctuary to talk and kind of correct the kid, right? That's normal. No one's going to bat an eye to it.
Yeah.
If a wife is gossiping right there in the foyer and the husband's there and he tells her to stop talking, to stop doing that, people are going to raise a huge eyebrow. Yeah. Or if he pulls her aside and says, hey, we don't do that.
Or like, hey, that was way out of line.
Yeah. People are going to, ooh, he's a tyrant.
Now, here's what I want to sit in this for a second, okay? Because those listening, I can just...
People already turned us off.
This hasn't even been dropped yet, and I can feel just the tension. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But let's flip the roles.
Okay.
If the husband was doing something and the wife pulled him aside and said that was out of line,
would she pull him? Wait. Would she pull him aside?
She'd do it right there in front of everyone.
She would do it right there in front of everyone.
That's true.
We know it. Everyone listening knows it.
True.
Don't deny it. Don't you dare deny it.
That's true.
You know.
But
because it happens all the time.
It does happen.
I've seen this all the time.
And what did they say about the husband? Oh, someone's in the doghouse tonight.
Yeah. It's like in this.
Oops. What did he do? Hey, what did he do?
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be a conversation later.
Yeah.
Dinner's gonna be awkward. You know, if they have an event afterwards, yikes. You know, it's that Key and Peele skit now. Mm-hmm. Awkward.
It's comedic.
It's comedic. Yeah. It's not, it's totally acceptable. And so here's where I'm like, I want the people to really think about if they have right now an attitude of disgust about men being able to do that to women, they ought to feel even stronger about women doing it to men. Mm-hmm. But they don't.
They don't.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That shows, even though we say we're reformed and we're patriarchal and all that, we are so beyond, we're actually beyond egalitarian. Because egalitarian means we both can do it. And you're fine with both of us doing it. Mm-hmm. It's feminism.
Right.
This is feminism. It's radical feminism. Right. So this is an area where, man, see, we're back to rebuking the man. Dang it.
That's okay, dude.
Is that we are so feminized really, really deeply that even though we're yelling patriarchy, we're singing matriarchy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're inwardly being led by the women and wanting it that way. Right. And wanting to enforce it that way. And it's interesting how even when you bring up these topics, man, people just want to go to bad examples. Instantly, right now, I bet people are thinking of 30 bad examples.
Sure, and there are bad examples. There's
right.
Okay, I brought up on accident, but I corrected myself. I brought up the example one, wife in the foyer, she's talking, husband addresses her right there in front of her peers.
Yeah.
That's probably not a wise idea, right? Pulling her aside privately and then rebuking her.
Yes.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
Right? Same with a child. Like if you're in the sanctuary, the child's going crazy, you're not going to yell at the kid in the middle of the sermon.
Yeah.
You're not going to spank the child in the middle of the sermon right there.
I say the more people see it, the better. Kidding.
Maybe.
I like the live stream.
That's terrible, dude. Do you know what I mean? There are absolutely bad examples of this.
For sure.
But that doesn't mean that you can't do it in a
tasteful,
honoring
graceful
way. Yes.
way. with
Yeah.
charity, with,
Yep.
and it's, dude,
Love, dude.
it's with
Out of love.
It's just like when you discipline your kids, like you don't want to discipline them out of wrath.
No.
You don't want to be angry and discipline them. You actually want to be self-controlled. You don't want to want it
But also, why are you disciplining?
because it's for their benefit.
Because you love them,
Yes.
and because you want to see them produce fruit and be faithful and
Yeah.
walking with the Lord, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And in the same way, we're to wash our wives with the word, which
Yeah.
means we're to guide them and to
Yeah.
literally be their spiritual head and their leader.
And sometimes that means they have to stand in the corner and we just throw scriptures at them, just throw Bibles. Just take pages,
Dude.
roll them up in a ball, and just chuck them.
I know someone is going to eventually find this page that hates us.
Page, dude. That was good. That was
Oh.
punny. Because I was talking about ripping pages
nice,
out.
Dude.
Sorry, go ahead.
No,
You've done that recently quite a bit.
Someone's gonna. I don't know what you're talking about. It's like
Honestly, I have no idea what you mean.
someone's gonna eventually find us, and they're
Yeah.
gonna hate us, and they're gonna take little excerpts of our
Yeah.
podcast, and they're just gonna say all sorts of crazy stuff. About
I say
us.
do it. Because
Bring it.
what here's the thing. Proverbs 18:17, man.
What is it?
First one to plead his cause is right until his neighbor comes and examines him. You need both sides, dude. That just shows who the fools are. You know what I'm saying? Listen to both sides. Anyway, let's get to them scripts. You know what I'm saying? Scriptures,
Oh,
them
yeah, dude.
churs.
Wow, we didn't even get to the scriptures yet.
First
20 more
Timothy.
minutes.
Oh no. 2:12. I do not permit a woman to teach or to exercise authority over a man. Rather, she's to remain quiet. 1 Corinthians 14:34-35. The woman should keep silent in churches, for they are not permitted to speak, but should be in submission, as the law also says. I think we brought this up in the last episode, or last one. There's no law that says this. So many have speculated that what Paul is actually referencing here is because the way that back then how they saw the law was the first 5 books of the Bible, right? The Torah and the law and the prophets. So the law encompassed the Genesis account, though. And so what that speaks to is that part of the law is created order. And what many would speculate is Paul is not drawing on the Mosaic law, but actually the law of created order. That this is how creation is, and this is how God designed it. Therefore, this is why it should be. Because I think the egalitarian argument is that, hey, in the New Testament, and the issues were different, so that's why the commands were to be that way. Now, women weren't educated, now they are, so it changes things. But Paul is not drawing upon education or upon even the Mosaic law. He's drawing upon created function and order. Mm-hmm. So, next one, disrespect towards husbands. Big one. Oh, yeah, this is you to read, Marshall. I'm sorry.
Ephesians 5:33 says, "Nevertheless, let each one of you in particular so love his own wife as himself, and let the wife see that she respects her husband."
Yeah.
1 Peter 3:2 says, "When they see your respectful and pure conduct."
Yeah. I only put half a scripture there.
Wow.
Sorry.
Who knows? Don't read the rest of that
Who
verse. No, I'm just
knows what it
kidding.
says before? So, but seeing your respectful and pure conduct. Mm-hmm. That's being observed and noticed for that kind of conduct is really what he's alluding to. Mm-hmm. So, I think we kind of talked about that one in the last part when you talked about like correcting your husband, all that. Actually, I'm going to read a little quote. If you have anything to say, you can say it while I'm pulling it up.
No, I think this is huge. I think something that really upsets me and honestly grieves me is when I see any woman just like blatantly, outwardly disrespecting her husband. In the same way, sandwich again, if I see a husband who's not being nurturing and loving towards his wife, it equally irks me. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Like when I see a husband neglecting his wife and like caring for her, when it's obvious and apparent that she is lacking love from him, it's sad. And in the same way, when I see a man being disrespected by his wife, it's sad and like it doesn't seem natural I think it actually goes against, like what you just addressed that Paul was alluding to. It goes against the created order. What are you pulling up, dude?
Well, there's a quote here. Honestly, good. Doug Will's blog on his website. He has 5 things to consider with the new year, the new term, and all that, the presidency, things to just focus on. And part of it's like the home, and he has a whole section there on, love your wife, obey your husband is the title. So, we hit hard. We've said before in the church on love your wife, like it's drilled in, but it's not drilled in obey your husband or respect your husband, right? But dude, this is what it produces. It's the pendulum. He said this, and I thought it was so good. He said, there are men who have discovered that it is easier to hate women than to stand up to them. And this is where a lot of the toxicity in our current moment is coming from. Like I think a lot of men, you and I have talked about this. A lot of men are actually really discontent with their marital function, the way their wife treats them. Let's just speak plainly. They don't like the way their wife treats them.
Yeah.
And they're unwilling to say anything about it or to stand up. And so what that does is it causes resentment and hatred. In the same way, a man who's not loving his wife would get corrected immediately.
Yeah.
And then the wife would also start to build resentment, to not be attracted, number one, to lose attraction, and then to lose love. And so she's going to be resentful over that. But we wouldn't say, hey, you need to change. We would go to the man and say, you need to love your wife. And that will naturally change. But we don't do that with men and women. When a woman's not respecting her husband, we go to the man and say, well, you need to change and do whatever she needs for her to respect you. Jump through all those hoops. Once you jump through the hoops, then you'll have her respect, Right. But we should go to her and say, you need to respect your husband. If that's the issue, deal with the issue.
Right.
We're uncomfortable saying that's an issue. We say that's a symptom of an issue. But the symptom is always the same. It's whatever the man's doing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For a lot. And so I think a lot of men don't actually start to create this culture and start to change things in their marriage, and it naturally builds resentment, and then it's a pendulum swing. And then it's a whole downward spiral, and then they're not fit to lead.
Yep.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so now you need a whole character change before you can really get them to lead their families.
Wow.
And it's a whole project.
Dude, that was
It's a spiral.
Yeah, I just saw that family destroyed.
In your mind.
Yeah.
I'm
like picturing like a not a real family, but like made up family. Anyways.
Yeah. Neglecting children and nurture. Okay. Man, are we going to go through all these? I think we can do it. We only got 2.
Oh, wow, dude. Man,
we can't do a part 4 on this.
No,
dude.
we are not doing a part 4. Let's do it.
Let's just hit on this quick. Neglecting children and nurture. Titus 2:4-5. Train the young women to love their husbands and children, to be self-controlled, pure, working at home, kind, and submissive to their own husbands. Proverbs 31:27-29. She watches over the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. Many daughters have done well, but you excel them all. I think that's pretty yeah.
I don't think. Do you think this is something that's obvious and visible in our, or not in our specific church, but in the church, of women neglecting to nurture their children?
Do I think it's obvious?
Yes.
Yeah.
You do?
Yes, I do. I mean, I think the model right now is let your kids run wild. Oh, they're just kids.
Yeah.
Don't control them. Start to apply that later, and now they rebel.
Right.
Because you're applying restriction as they should be relieved of restriction. Dude, I heard Doug talk about this, and it really changed my whole view. He's like, you should be a tyrant to your kids.
Right.
A
Yep.
dictator.
Yeah.
You
While they're
control
children.
everything.
Yeah.
When they ride the bike, you don't let them ride their bike by themselves.
Yeah.
You're holding them. Everything you do, you're controlling until they get the ability to do it.
Right.
And then you slowly ease up on that tight grip. And what that does is it helps build esteem, helps build confidence, it helps build just general respect, it will allow them to not, it will help them to not rebel. You can't, you have no idea what a kid's going to do at some point in their lives. But what we do now is we just let them do whatever. And then when they're older, we go, shoot, now I need to correct that.
Yep.
And it's been 10 years. I have to start correcting that.
Yeah.
And you just give them 10 years of a different model. Yep. They're not going to just conform.
They're going to rebel.
They're going to push back. Yep. And if you wait till they're 13 to do that, you've lost.
Yeah.
Completely.
You've already lost.
You've already lost. I know. Dude, I mean, I see this in my own life. There's things like, man, I wish I would have done that from day one.
Same.
Same. And so, now that baby 2's on the way, which I don't care who knows, man. Now that baby 2's on the way, I can,
cast your votes, guys, girl or boy.
Yeah, I want a poll, and I want a poll, but please vote for men. I need another boy. I'm just kidding. I'm okay, whatever. Anyway, yeah. So I think when you really think about it, yes, it's obvious, but I don't know if it's obvious to
because I would say it's also equally obvious to me that it's natural for women to be
nurturing.
It
is.
and it's in their nature.
Well, that's the point. I mean? That's the point of the gender specific sin. Is it's in their nature to be nurturing. Therefore, when they're not,
they're rebellious.
They need to actually repent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Men in our nature, we're not naturally nurturing. We're naturally leading or dominant or whatever it is, right? So we need to repent of suppressing our natural masculinity in the same way they would repent of neglecting nurture. Yeah. But maybe not obvious in the way you were actually asking, now that I think about it.
Sure.
But anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right. Dude, this is your favorite topic. I'll let you talk about this one.
Sexual deprivation. I'm going to read the verse in 1 Corinthians chapter 7.
Yeah.
2-5. It says, "But because of the temptation to sexual immorality, each man should have his own wife, and each woman her own husband. The husband should give to his wife her conjugal rights." Conjugal rights, and likewise the wife to her husband. For the wife does not have authority over her own body, but the husband does. Likewise, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but the wife does. Do not deprive one another, except perhaps by agreement for a limited time, that you may devote yourselves to prayer, but then come together again, so that Satan may not tempt you because of your lack of self-control.
Yeah. There's a lot there.
Yeah,
there's a
there
whole
is a
lot
lot in
there.
there. And I think this is important because I don't know if I've ever heard this talked from the pulpit.
Ever.
I've heard it talked about in small groups.
Books.
I've heard it books,
Yeah.
lots of books.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I've heard this from the pulpit.
Well, think about like all the presuppositions that are at play here. Okay, so each man should have his own wife, right? He says, because of temptation to sexual immorality. Okay, so that assumes that's present
For the man.
for the men because that's an issue.
Yeah.
And women. Well, actually, we're moving on beyond gender specific sins. Now we're on. Now we're egalitarian. So, there's. I mean, yeah, women are lustful too. Women sleep around, but men, it's the primary issue. And if men stop doing it, it would stop happening.
I brought up earlier, women, we all know if we said, what's the sin that women struggle with? Every single one is going to say gossip initially. I think.
Yeah.
I would be.
Test that.
We should test that. What's the number one sin that you think women generally struggle with?
Yeah.
Gossip. What's the number one sin that you think most men struggle with?
I think women
Lust.
would say not feeling adequate, but that's not a sin. Do you know what I'm saying? They're going to talk about an insecurity,
Yeah, dude.
but it's not an actual sin.
I don't mean to laugh at that, but
But it's true.
But it is true, dude.
They're not. But I don't think that it's really thought about that way.
It's not like registered.
Like, hey, look, what do you mean women sin? What do you mean? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, but okay, so look at the presuppositions here. So, and think about this. So the wife does not have authority over her own body. Neither does the man over his own body.
Right.
The conjugal rights. Like this is rightful access to each other as part of the marital covenant.
Yes, this is covenantal.
Yeah. Yeah. And so do not deprive one another is the command here. There's actually a story. I don't know many details about it, but in a certain area, a certain church congregation during the Puritans, where they actually excommunicated a member because he refused to give conjugal rights to his wife.
What?
I know. First of all, what's wrong with this guy?
Uh-oh.
Instantly, I'm like, that's crazy. It's like saying, like he's like, I refuse to drink water. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but I thought that's so, like, think about the justice that did to his wife. To excommunicate, to say you're under church discipline, and that's the capital punishment of church discipline is excommunication. So this is the final step.
Right.
It got to the point to where he refused. You're out of the church. This is actually
That's crazy.
But because they see that this is harmful to your marriage and your family, this is going to hurt and injure. This is going to hurt. This is hurting your wife. You're hurting your wife by.
I don't think it's crazy that they excommunicated him. I think it's crazy that
saying.
he went that far to neglect lovemaking with his wife.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
That's insane to me. And then think about what's the pendulum swing to that? You had this hyper pious movement afterwards, and actually before, from what I understand, that the Puritans were responding to, but was that sex is bad, sex is evil. From what I understand, Constantine, in his Confessions, he talks about enduring sex with his wife so that he could have children, but like the whole time he's basically trying not to be present.
Like yucky.
Yeah, because it was seen as a wicked fleshly thing, and Constantine used to be.
Constantine?
I'm sorry, Augustine. Augustine. I said Constantine. Yes.
I was going to say, I think it's Augustine.
No, he didn't write. Augustine wrote Confessions. Yeah, sorry. So he was a Manichaean Gnostic before. So their view of the flesh was wicked, although it was different because you could express that it didn't do anything to your spirit. But coming into Christianity, he had to work some stuff out. You can see that the flesh is not inherently wicked. Do you know what I'm saying? It's sin nature. That's the wicked part. Yeah. But sex is created by God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we're not encouraged here by Paul. We're commanded here by Paul not to deprive. So I thought that was a cool story from the Puritans. Hopefully she got justice and he was able to join that church again.
Yeah. It's an uncomfortable subject to hear behind the pulpit, especially if you're at a church like ours where you have children in the sanctuary. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I see the discretion.
Well, what does that do to children though?
What does it do?
I think, well, I'm thinking like, think about the purity culture. They grew up so sheltered from any sexual conversation. I'm not saying start talking about, really explicit things with your kids. I'm not saying that. Be wise. Be
right.
Do you read the scriptures with your boys?
Yeah.
What happens when it gets to a really graphic death scene?
I completely skip it. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
No,
you don't hide it from them.
No, yeah, they know. Dude, my boys were in Sunday school a while ago, and they were going over the story of David and Goliath. And they talked
what do you do afterwards?
Well, dude, it's funny because the curriculum that they were using said, talked about how like the stone killed Goliath. And Brixton, my oldest, he stood up and he was like, actually, the Bible says that David cut off his head and brought his head back.
And brought it back to the camp. Yeah. And held it like this.
With his own sword.
And we're back. Okay.
Sorry, we got cut off from our thing.
Right in the head cutting. Just like Goliath's head.
Skip over it.
We got cut off.
Oh, yeah.
That's really funny.
That is interesting.
We're wrapping up anyways. But the point is that you didn't hide that story.
Correct.
Right? So when you're in the congregation, you don't necessarily hide those things. I think with the pushback against, quote unquote, purity culture is that you have pendulums. And so like I know peers that are my age and even a little older that were so sheltered from sexual conversation that they didn't, even getting into marriage, it wasn't an encouraged thing. And so they had a really uncomfortable thing or they ran promiscuous as an adult because they needed some sort of exposure to it in order to bring it into their marriage without insecurity because they weren't discipled in what it is, how it should function. I think like fathers should disciple their kids as they get old. And like, as they get older, hey, this is what you need to expect. This is how it works. This is what you need to do.
Yeah.
Like really, like they're going to learn it from someone. Why not learn it from their father? Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, that sounded so bad. The topic, the information.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, so let's hit on this last one. We got 5 minutes.
Okay.
Your favorite topic again. Something you love to do.
Complaining. Philippians 2:14-15 says, "Do all things without complaining and disputing, that you may become blameless and harmless, children of God without fault in the midst of a crooked and perverse generation, among whom you shine as light in the world." Oh man, I love that you have this next verse. Numbers 11:1-3 says, "Now when the people complained, it displeased the Lord, for the Lord heard it, and his anger was aroused. So the fire of the Lord burned among them and consumed some in the outskirts of the camp. Then the people cried out to Moses, and when Moses prayed to the Lord, the fire was quenched. So he called the name of the place Taberah, because the fire of the Lord had burned among them." Real quick, there's some other verses, but immediately when I think of complaining, that is where my mind goes. It goes immediately to that generation of Jews,
The complaining
the Hebrews,
generation.
that was complaining in the wilderness
Yeah.
after being rescued and promised blessings. Rescued from tyranny and slavery and oppression, spiritual oppression, to now in being literally led by the presence of
Isn't
God.
that crazy?
Right?
Yeah.
Being chosen and carved out of
Yeah.
this pagan culture
Yeah.
to be God's people, and then complaining.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so when you, and I think in terms of, we talk about God being the head, you know, Christ being the head of the church.
Yeah.
We're married to him. When a husband provides for his family, works hard for his family, and sacrifices as he ought to for his wife and his children, and there's complaining.
Yes. What does that do to the man?
What does that do to the man? It arouses his anger, not arouses him in any other way.
I think that's actually a quick way to upset a husband. Is to start, as a wife, to start complaining about the things that his performance directly affects. In the same way, this is offensive to God. I mean, complaining, I think, is one of those things. Like, I get a non-believer complaining, right?
Yeah, what do they have to be grateful for?
Exactly. But also, they just don't understand what we understand. They don't see what we see. So you just said they were led by fire. God was working miracles among them. He just delivered them out of Egypt. The charge for complaining is much more severe for them because of what they saw. They saw something that was so great. I mean, anyone would have said, "You're an idiot for complaining." It says they turned back to Egypt in their hearts pretty much immediately. Like, at least there we were fed.
Red Sea parts, and then they're like, "Man, I really wish we were back over there."
Immediately. I know those guys seemed angry as they were chasing us with chariots, but I don't feel like they were mad. I feel like it was like, "Hey, come back." You know what I'm saying?
Delusion.
It's just not that. But I do see a lot of Christian men complaining.
Christian men?
I think I think both men and women, but I hear it a lot of men, and it's not seen as like hey, stop complaining. Like when you're around guys that don't complain, you feel like you're a child when you complain. Like if listen,
excuse making.
A good way to demonstrate this is next time someone complains about something, just ask them like, "Hey, what are you going to do about that?" They're going to get either mad at you, offended, because they're like, "What do you mean? What am I going to do about it? I can't do anything about it. Why are you talking about it?" Like, really just shut them down. Like, what can you do? Can you do anything? Okay, do you just need to vent? Because I can bring a proverb about not venting to your brother too. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, is that what you need? That's not what you need.
Right.
You just want to complain.
Dude, isn't that crazy? Like, we've created a culture, even in church circles, where it's like, "Hey, I'll be your sounding board. Just vent, dude. If you just need to get stuff off your chest, just vent to me, dude." And granted, I'll say this. there's a season to mourn, there's a season to grieve and stuff. And so when life happens, and sometimes there are things that are out of our control completely.
We mourn with those who
sudden
mourn, for
death.
sure. Well, it's totally
Do you know what I
different
mean?
too.
And so I think there is a place for that. But I do think what has happened is at large, we now feel the right to complain and vent about anything at any given time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so now it's just like, let's just vent, which then turns into gossip, can turn into gossip.
Yeah, for sure.
And there is no solution.
Yeah.
It's just, let's just talk about this and let's just dig a hole and throw the shovel out.
Well, yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
it's like, you have, like you said, you dig a hole, you have something in your backyard you need, and someone's like, hey, here's 2 shovels, I'll do it with you. And they're like, no, I don't want to do that. Why would I want to do that? You're like, well, you have this problem. And what you need is someone to help you dig a hole. Like, no, you know what I'm saying? Like if you have a problem, like go to men to get wisdom, how to fix it. Like, I mean, this is a whole other tangent we don't have time for, but like,
but we're doing it.
No, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. But like, even like women charge men with like the Messiah complex where they want to fix everything. That's how we're created. We're literally created to fix things. We're created to build things.
Yeah.
That's how we're created. That's not a bad thing, Anyway, let's move on. What's the next one?
Oh, dude, we're just 2 more verses on
Let's
complaining,
hear it.
dude. Psalm 77:1 says, I cried out to God with my voice.
To who?
God.
There you go.
To God with my voice, and he gave ear to me.
There you go. That's the key. He heard. He's crying out with the faith that God actually hears his cry.
Right. Yeah, there's a distinction there. It's like, I'm not aimlessly complaining.
Yeah.
Right. Like I can go to God with my burdens.
Yeah.
Right. And he hears me.
Yeah.
And he comforts me.
Do you believe he hears you?
Right. And I also trust that whatever the outcome of that situation is, whether it's a loss of a job, a loss of a loved one, the loss of who knows, whatever.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's not even loss. Maybe your insurance company's not covering your car wreck.
Yeah.
Whatever it may be. Do you have the faith that God is going to bring you through this?
Right.
Right?
Right.
In any outcome, whatever the outcome, he's
Should be
there
yes.
and he's doing it for your good.
Yeah.
Do you believe that?
Do you believe that?
Right.
Even if it's to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, last one. Let's hear it.
In Psalm 120, 1-2, in my distress, I cried to the Lord and he heard me. Deliver my soul, O Lord, from lying lips, from a deceitful tongue.
Cried out my distress. He heard me.
He's recognizing that he needs to be saved from himself.
Yeah.
He's prone to complain. He's prone to, do all the sinful stuff that we kind of addressed earlier. And he's crying out for God to deliver him from himself.
Yeah, and he sees the lying lips, those people who are, persecuting him, speaking against him, setting him up. That's a whole mess.
Yeah.
And he cried out to God for help, So yeah, absolutely. We're allowed to complain, but we need to complain rightly. Yeah. Don't complain to no avail. Take the Lord's name to no avail, or the Lord's name to no avail. Yeah. So anyway, that being said, we're done.
Wow.
This is it. We did it.
3-part series. We did it.
3-part. I'll never talk about sin again. Marshall, any last words? We didn't do a promise. We're going to start doing promises again.
You promised that last time.
Shoot, did I? Are you looking up a promise right now?
I was going to.
Nice, dude. But you don't know any, do you? You don't know a single one,
dude.
do
You look, I know you're the verse guy, but here's a
chapter guy.
Here's one. Chapter guy. You're right. How about this? We'll team up right now.
Okay.
Chapter, I believe in Matthew.
Okay.
Jesus is talking about how he's going to clothe the lilies, how he's going to provide
Matthew
for the
6.
sparrow. Yeah. That is a good promise.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to.
How much more will he clothe you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what you're going to eat.
Seek first the kingdom and his righteousness.
Yep.
And all of these things will be added to you.
Yep.
There you go.
Trust in the Lord.
Yeah. Is it verse 36?
I know. I see. He wants to be a verse guy. No. I wish we had that prepared. But I would just say this. Wherever you're at, this season can be really sweet for a lot of people. It can also be a really hard season for a lot of people this time of year in the Christmas season. Trust that. Oh, you got it pulled up right
Is that
here.
verse 36? Is that verse 36?
25,
doggy?
dude.
Oh, wait, 26. Oh, I was 10 off, dude.
Hey, it's okay, dude.
Dang
You're
it.
okay. You read it.
No, there is no verse 36. No, we didn't read it. You said it. Go read the whole
Okay,
chapter.
just read Matthew 6.
He those promises.
But yeah, if you were a child of God, even if you're not a child of God, God graciously gives and provides for His creation.
He sends the
all
rain
of His creation
on the just and the unjust alike.
Yep.
Amen.
Yeah.
That being said, go watch Shrek the Halls. Merry Christmas. Have a good Christmas. And until next year.
Maybe.
No, until next year.
Okay.
Peace.
Bye.